Where does your mind go when you sleep? A Buddhist perspective. Introduction. The mystery of sleep and the mind. Sleep is a universal human experience. Yet its nature remains one of the greatest mysteries of consciousness. Every night, we drift into a realm where our physical senses retreat. Our thoughts scatter, and time loses meaning. But where does the mind go when we sleep? Does it disappear into nothingness? Or does it embark on an unseen journey? From a Buddhist perspective, sleep is not merely a biological necessity. It is a gateway to understanding the deeper layers of the mind. The teachings of the Buddha offer profound insights into how consciousness functions during sleep, how dreams reflect our inner world, and how deep sleep reveals the potential for ultimate awareness. By exploring these ideas, we can cultivate a more mindful approach to sleep, transforming it from a passive state into an opportunity for personal growth and spiritual awakening. Chapter 1. The Onset of Sleep, A Journey Inward. As night falls, we close another day and prepare for sleep, a pause amid the busyness of life. Have you ever realized that sleep itself is a journey? Not an outward journey, but an inward one, where the mind is freed from noise and worries. If life is a grand play, then sleep is the moment the lights dim before a new scene begins. Gradually, the external world fades away, light softens, sounds quieten, and everything becomes still. Our bodies begin to relax, muscles loosen, and our breathing slows. It's like a river that has been rushing all day. But as night approaches, it calms, reflecting the moon with tranquil clarity. Sleep in balance, a lesson from the Buddha. Some people sleep a lot yet still feel exhausted, while others sleep little but remain alert. This aligns with the Buddha's teachings in the Sigalovada Sutta, where he emphasized the importance of balance in life, including sleep. He warned against extremes. Excessive sleep leads to sluggishness, while sleep deprivation causes restlessness. Sleep, like food, is not about quantity alone, it's about what is right and sufficient. If you've ever felt tired despite getting 8 hours of sleep, consider how you enter sleep. Do you carry stress and anxiety with you to bed? Many people scroll through their phones until late at night, their minds still occupied with social media, news, or work. In such cases, even though the body sleeps, the mind remains awake. The key to restful sleep is not just about duration but also about how well you let go before closing your eyes. The quieting of the senses, a gateway to the inner world. As we drift into sleep, our senses gradually withdraw, our eyes close. External sounds fade, and the body enters relaxation. This is a precious moment to turn inward, much like how the Buddha himself practiced in the Mahaparinibbana Sutta. Even in his final moments, he took short but deep rests, maintaining clarity and mindfulness. Think of sleep as a necessary pause. Just as a musician cannot play a melody without moments of silence between the notes, our minds also need these breaks to function optimally. The science of sleep and its connection to Buddhist wisdom. Modern science categorizes sleep into different stages, including REM, rapid eye movement, and NREM, non-rapid eye movement, sleep. During the initial stages, particularly NREM sleep, the body enters a restorative phase, heart rate slows, blood pressure drops, and the brain filters out unnecessary information from the day. Interestingly, this aligns with Buddhist philosophy on quieting the mind to remove mental clutter. When we sleep deeply, our thoughts are no longer scattered, much like a still lake reflecting the sky without ripples. Sleeping mindfully, the art of letting go. Instead of viewing sleep as an unconscious act, approach it as a mindful ritual. Before bed, imagine carrying a heavy bag filled with the worries and burdens of the day. Instead of bringing it to bed with you, set it down beside you. Remind yourself, the matters of today are done. Tomorrow holds new opportunities. Now, I am allowed to rest. Try a simple exercise. As you lie down, take slow, deep breaths, feeling each inhale and exhale like gentle waves washing onto the shore. Let your mind float along with the rhythm, without resistance. When you learn to let go, sleep becomes effortless and profound. Conclusion. Sleep is not just a time for physical rest but also an opportunity to reconnect with ourselves. When we understand and appreciate sleep, we realize that each night is an exciting journey, a chance to practice letting go, finding balance, and renewing our energy. So tonight, as you go to bed, try something different. Don't just sleep, enter sleep with awareness. You will feel the difference. Chapter 2. The Resting Mind, a Shift in Consciousness. When we sleep, does the mind truly rest? Or does it continue its subtle work in the background, beyond our conscious awareness? In Buddhist thought, the mind never fully stops. It doesn't turn off, like a switch. Instead, it shifts into a different mode of functioning, operating in a quieter, more refined way. Think about this. Have you ever gone to bed with a lingering question and woken up with an answer? Or had nights where, despite being asleep, your mind felt restless, caught in a stream of thoughts? These experiences suggest that even in sleep, the mind remains active, just in a different state. The nature of the mind in Buddhism. To understand how the mind functions during sleep, we can look at the 5 aggregates, khandhas, the fundamental components that make up human experience in Buddhist teachings. 1. Rupa, form, the physical body, including the brain and sensory organs. 2. Vedana, sensation, the experience of pleasure, pain, or neutrality. 3. Sanya, perception, the ability to recognize and interpret sensory input. 4. Sankhara, mental formations, thoughts, intentions, and habits. 5. Vijnana, consciousness, awareness of experiences. During wakefulness, these 5 aggregates actively shape our reality. In sleep, their intensity diminishes, but they do not disappear. Consciousness remains, but at a softer, more subtle level. For example, in dreams, Vedana, sensation, still exists. You may feel happiness, fear, or anxiety even though there are no external stimuli. Sanya, perception, helps you distinguish images in the dream. Sankhara, mental formations, continues to generate thoughts and decisions. And Vijnana, consciousness, ensures continuity of experience. This shows that sleep is not a state of emptiness, but rather a transformation of consciousness into another form. A lesson from the story of Venerable Sona. A well-known Buddhist story illustrates this concept beautifully. The story of Venerable Sona. Sona was a devoted monk, extremely diligent in his meditation practice. However, he took his efforts to an extreme. He forced himself to meditate for hours on end, pushing his body so hard that his feet began to bleed. Yet despite all his effort, he found no peace. Seeking guidance, he approached the Buddha, who gave him a simple but profound analogy. If the strings of a lute are too tight, they will snap. If they are too loose, they will not produce any sound. Only when they are tuned just right can they create harmonious music. The mind is the same. If we push it too hard, forcing it to work relentlessly, it becomes exhausted and agitated. But if we let it become too slack, without mindfulness or awareness, it becomes dull and ineffective. Sleep, in its natural way, embodies this balance. It allows the mind to continue working, but in a gentler, more effortless way. How to truly let the mind rest and sleep. Some people sleep for 8 hours but still wake up feeling tired, as if their minds never truly rested. Their thoughts continue spinning, much like a fan that keeps moving even after being switched off. Others sleep fewer hours but wake up refreshed. The key is not just the quantity of sleep, but the quality of rest, how well the mind is able to relax. Here are some mindful practices to help the mind truly rest during sleep. 1. Unwind before bed. Avoid screens, news, or stressful conversations just before sleeping. Instead, listen to soft music, read a Buddhist teaching, or engage in light meditation to signal to your mind that it's time to slow down. 2. Be aware of the transition. As you lie down, don't think of sleep as merely turning off. Instead, observe how your breath, body, and thoughts gradually shift into a calmer state. 3. Practice the art of letting go. Before sleeping, visualize setting down your burdens for the day. Tell yourself, what needed to be done today is done. What remains unfinished can wait for tomorrow. Now, I allow myself to rest. 4. Observe your dreams lightly. If you experience dreams, instead of clinging to them or overanalyzing them, treat them like passing clouds in the sky. Acknowledge them, but let them drift away. Conclusion: the mind never truly stops, even in sleep. But instead of forcing it to shut down, we can learn to let it soften, relax, and shift into a quieter state. When we understand this, sleep is no longer just a biological necessity. It becomes an opportunity for restoration. Balance. and even spiritual practice. So tonight, as you prepare for bed, try something new. Don't just sleep, sleep with mindfulness. You may find that sleep is not just unconscious rest, but a gentle step on the path of self-discovery. Chapter 3. Dreams, the mind's inner theater. When we dream, we enter a realm where logic dissolves, time bends, and the subconscious reveals itself. Dreams are more than just fleeting images, they are the mind's way of processing emotions, memories, and deeper truths. From a Buddhist perspective, dreams are not merely random illusions but meaningful reflections of our inner world. They serve as windows into unresolved emotions, hidden desires, and even spiritual lessons. What we see in our dreams often tells us more about ourselves than we realize. Are dreams just an illusion? Many of us have had dreams that feel incredibly real. Perhaps we wake up in a cold sweat after a nightmare or feel a lingering sense of warmth after dreaming of a loved one. But what are these experiences? Are they just tricks of the brain? Or do they hold deeper significance? Buddhism teaches that the mind is continuously active, even in sleep. Just as a lake reflects the sky, our dreams reflect the workings of our subconscious. They bring to the surface thoughts and emotions we may not fully acknowledge when awake. Think of a time when you had a stressful period in life. Did you start having anxious or unsettling dreams? Or perhaps you were in love, and your dreams became lighthearted and joyful? These are clear signs that dreams are not random. They mirror our inner state. A lesson from King Pasenadi's dreams. One of the most famous Buddhist stories about dreams comes from the Jataka tales, in which King Pasenadi of Kosala experienced a series of terrifying visions in his sleep. He saw bizarre, unsettling images and feared they were omens of disaster. Seeking guidance, he went to the Buddha and asked for their meaning. Instead of treating the dreams as mystical prophecies, the Buddha explained that they were simply manifestations of the king's own worries, fears, and subconscious turmoil. This story offers a profound lesson. Dreams are often a reflection of our emotional and psychological state rather than signs of external fate. How often do we wake up from a bad dream and think, "What does this mean? Is something terrible going to happen?" Instead of fearing dreams, we can use them as a tool for self-exploration. They reveal what is unresolved within us, whether it's fear, longing, or inner conflict. Science and the purpose of dreams. Modern neuroscience aligns closely with Buddhist wisdom in understanding dreams. Scientists have discovered that dreams, particularly those during REM sleep, play a crucial role in emotional processing. The brain replays emotional experiences, helping us deal with unresolved feelings. Memory consolidation. Dreams help organize and store memories, allowing us to integrate new information. Creativity and problem solving. Some of history's greatest discoveries and artistic inspirations have come from dreams. Einstein's theory of relativity, the invention of the sewing machine, and even famous melodies like "Yesterday" by the Beatles were all inspired by dreams. A fascinating study found that people who dream about upcoming challenges often perform better at those tasks in real life. It's as if the brain uses dreams as a simulation ground, preparing us for what's to come. How to observe dreams mindfully. Instead of dismissing dreams as meaningless or obsessing over their interpretation, Buddhism suggests a mindful approach. 1. Notice recurring themes. Do you keep dreaming of the same place, person, or situation? This could signal something unresolved in your waking life. 2. Observe without attachment. If you have a nightmare, instead of reacting with fear, acknowledge it as just another experience of the mind. Just like clouds passing in the sky, dreams come and go. 3. Reflect on emotions rather than symbols. Instead of fixating on specific objects in a dream, ask, what emotions did I feel? What was my mind processing? 4. Use dreams for self-awareness. If you wake up from a dream feeling strong emotions, take a moment to reflect. Was there something in your waking life triggering those feelings? Dreams as a spiritual practice. In some Buddhist traditions, practitioners train themselves to be aware even in dreams. Lucid dreaming, the ability to recognize that one is dreaming while still inside the dream, is seen as a way to deepen mindfulness. If we can be aware in our dreams, we can strengthen our awareness in waking life as well. Tibetan Buddhism even has a practice called dream yoga, where practitioners use dreams as a means of exploring consciousness and gaining insight into the nature of reality. The idea is that if we can recognize the dreamlike nature of sleep, we might also start to recognize the dreamlike nature of waking life, an essential step toward enlightenment. Conclusion: dreams are not mere distractions of the night, they are the mind's inner theater, showing us scenes from our deepest thoughts and emotions. Instead of seeing them as random or prophetic, we can approach them with curiosity and mindfulness. Tonight, as you fall asleep, remember, your dreams are not something separate from you, they are a reflection of you. By observing them with awareness, you may discover hidden truths about yourself, your emotions, and your journey through life. So the next time you wake up from a strange or powerful dream, don't just brush it aside. Pause, reflect, ask yourself, what is my mind trying to show me? You might be surprised at the answers you find. Chapter 4. Deep Sleep, the Quietude of Consciousness. Beyond the shifting landscapes of dreams lies deep sleep, a state of profound stillness, where conscious awareness seems to dissolve. For many, this stage of sleep feels like a blank void, an experience of nothingness. But from a Buddhist perspective, deep sleep is not mere emptiness, rather, it is a return to the mind's most fundamental state, free from the distractions of thought, perception, and self-identity. Is deep sleep a state of non-being? When we fall into deep sleep, we cease to perceive the world. Unlike in dreams, where we see images and experience emotions, deep sleep is a period of pure rest, silent, formless, and untouched by mental activity. But does this mean that our consciousness disappears? Buddhist philosophy suggests otherwise. In Abhidhamma, a branch of Buddhist psychology and metaphysics, there is a concept known as bhavanga sata, often translated as the life continuum or ground consciousness. This is described as a subtle, underlying stream of awareness that continues even when we are in deep, dreamless sleep. It's like a flame that has been dimmed but never extinguished. To illustrate this, imagine the ocean. On the surface, there are waves, sometimes gentle, sometimes stormy. These waves represent the thoughts and experiences of wakefulness and dreaming. But beneath the surface, the ocean is vast and still. This deep, silent expanse is akin to deep sleep, undisturbed, yet ever present. The science of deep sleep. Modern neuroscience identifies deep sleep as slow-wave sleep, SWS, a stage where the body enters its most restorative phase. In this state, the brain clears out toxins, acting like a natural cleansing system. Cells regenerate, repairing damage and strengthening the immune system. Heart rate and breathing slow down, conserving energy and promoting deep healing. This state is crucial not just for physical health but also for mental clarity. Without sufficient deep sleep, the mind becomes foggy, emotions become unstable, and memory weakens. Interestingly, this aligns with Buddhist teachings on the mind's inherent luminosity, the idea that beneath the turbulence of daily thoughts and emotions, there is a natural clarity and purity that remains untouched. Deep sleep and the mind's true nature. Some Buddhist traditions compare deep sleep to meditative absorption, jhana, where the mind enters a state of stillness free from the usual fluctuations of thought. In certain advanced meditative practices, monks can enter states of consciousness that resemble deep sleep while maintaining full awareness, remaining awake in complete stillness. One Zen teaching suggests that experiencing deep sleep is a glimpse into the unconditioned mind, a moment where the ego dissolves, and only pure being remains. While we may not be aware of it at the time, this state offers us a small taste of what it means to rest in the natural mind, free from grasping and aversion. Lessons from deep sleep. What can we learn from the experience of deep sleep? 1. True rest comes from letting go. In deep sleep, we do not actively try to achieve rest. It happens naturally when we release control. This is a valuable lesson for daily life. Sometimes, the most profound peace comes from surrender, not striving. 2. Stillness is always present, just as the quiet depths of the ocean exist beneath the waves. Deep stillness is always present within us. Even in the busiest moments of life, there is a silent awareness underneath it all. 3. Awareness exists even when we do not recognize it. If consciousness truly disappeared in deep sleep, we wouldn't wake up as the same person. But every morning, we return with a continuous sense of self, indicating that something persists even in the absence of active thought. Bringing the wisdom of deep sleep into daily life. While deep sleep itself is a natural process, we can cultivate its lessons while awake. Practice mindfulness of stillness, even in the middle of a busy day. Take a few moments to notice the quiet awareness beneath your thoughts. Embrace deep relaxation, meditation, breathwork, or simply lying down without distractions can help us tap into the same restful state that deep sleep provides. Let go of mental clutter before sleeping. Imagine setting down all the thoughts of the day, just as you would put down a heavy bag. This practice of release can lead to deeper and more restorative rest. Conclusion: deep sleep is more than just a state of unconsciousness. It is a return to the most essential nature of the mind. It offers a glimpse into the silent, luminous awareness that exists beyond thought and emotion. Tonight, as you drift into sleep, consider this: even in the deepest quiet, something remains. That something is you, not your thoughts, not your identity, but the pure awareness beneath it all. By understanding deep sleep, we can also begin to understand the deeper nature of the mind itself, one that is vast, quiet, and always present. Chapter 5. Waking Up, the Art of Conscious Beginnings. As the first rays of dawn touch the earth, the world awakens. Birds begin their morning songs. The air carries the freshness of a new day. And within us, something stirs, the return of awareness. But waking up is more than just opening our eyes, it is an art. An opportunity to begin with intention and clarity. In Buddhism, wakefulness is not merely a physical state but a spiritual one. To be truly awake is to live with presence, mindfulness, and awareness of each moment. How we rise in the morning can shape the course of our entire day. Waking up is more than rising from sleep. Think about how you usually wake up. Do you rush to your phone, checking messages before even sitting up? Do you groggily stumble out of bed, already thinking about work, stress, or unfinished tasks? Or do you take a moment to transition from sleep to wakefulness with ease and mindfulness? The way we wake up often mirrors the way we live. If we wake up hurried, anxious, or distracted, our day is likely to follow that same energy. But if we wake up with awareness, gratitude, and intention, we set a foundation for a more peaceful and mindful day. How the Buddha began his day. The Buddha was known to rise before dawn, using the quiet hours for meditation and contemplation. He understood that the early morning holds a unique stillness, an ideal time to align the mind before engaging with the world. The Dhammapada, one of the most revered Buddhist scriptures, repeatedly warns against heedlessness, pamada, urging us to cultivate wakefulness in both body and mind. The awakened are never careless. They are mindful and fully aware. The wise live in wakefulness, delighting in awareness. This passage reminds us that true wakefulness is not just about getting up from bed. It is about getting up from mental slumber, becoming fully present in life rather than sleepwalking through it. A story of struggling to stay awake. In the Anguttara Nikaya, there is a story of a monk who struggled with drowsiness during meditation. He kept nodding off, unable to maintain awareness. Seeing his struggle, the Buddha offered practical advice. 1. Splash cool water on the face. This refreshes the senses and brings clarity. 2. Step outside and walk mindfully. Movement awakens the body and stimulates the mind. 3. Gaze at the sky. Let in natural light. Exposure to light helps shift the body into wakefulness. 4. Reflect on the purpose of practice. Reminding oneself of the reason for waking up helps cultivate motivation. This simple yet profound guidance teaches us that wakefulness is not a passive state but an active practice. Just as the monk had to put an effort to stay awake during meditation, we too can cultivate mindful wakefulness every morning, transforming the act of waking into a ritual of awareness. What if waking up wasn't just a mechanical habit but a mindful ritual? Instead of rushing into the day, what if we saw each morning as an opportunity to start anew, with awareness, gratitude, and purpose? Here are 3 simple but powerful ways to wake up with mindfulness. 1. Wake up gradually, not abruptly. Instead of jumping out of bed immediately, take a few seconds to notice the sensations of waking. Feel the weight of your body, the rhythm of your breath, the quietness of the morning. Let wakefulness settle naturally, just as the sun rises gradually, not all at once. Example: imagine waking up as if you were emerging from a serene meditation, rather than being startled into motion. This small shift makes a significant difference in how you begin the day. 2. Take a few deep, conscious breaths. Before reaching for your phone or thinking about the day ahead, pause. Take 3 deep breaths, fully inhaling and exhaling, bringing your attention to the present moment. This simple act grounds you in awareness rather than unconscious habit. Personal insight. Many monks and meditators begin their day by simply sitting in silence for a few breaths before engaging with the world. This creates a bridge between sleep and wakefulness, allowing the mind to transition smoothly. 3. Set a gentle, positive intention. Instead of rushing into thoughts of work or obligations, take a moment to set an intention for the day. This could be something simple, like, today, I will move with patience and kindness. I will be mindful of my thoughts and actions. I will meet each moment with presence and gratitude. This small act influences the energy you carry throughout the day. Example: just as a musician tunes their instrument before playing, setting an intention helps us tune our minds for the day ahead. Waking up with purpose and clarity. Many great teachers describe waking up as a moment of rebirth, a fresh opportunity to begin again. No matter how yesterday went, each morning is a new chance to live with awareness. Even the simple phrase, "Good morning," can be seen in a new light. It is not just a polite greeting, it is an acknowledgement that this morning is indeed good, a gift. A fresh start. Conclusion. The art of beginning well. Waking up is one of the most important transitions of the day. By shifting from automatic habit to conscious ritual, we can transform this moment into a practice of mindfulness and intention. Tomorrow morning, try something different. Wake up gently, feeling the body and breath. Take a few mindful breaths before doing anything else. Set a simple but meaningful intention for the day. These small actions may seem subtle, but they shape the quality of our awareness, allowing us to move through the day with clarity, purpose, and wakefulness, not just in body, but in mind and spirit as well. So the next time you open your eyes in the morning, ask yourself, am I just awake, or am I truly awake? The answer may change the way you experience not just your mornings, but your entire life. Conclusion. The bridge between sleep and wakefulness. Sleep is more than just a biological function. It is a profound journey into the depths of consciousness. Each night, as we close our eyes, we do not simply shut down, we transition into a different state of awareness. One that holds its own mysteries, insights, and opportunities for growth. From the gentle descent into sleep, to the vivid landscapes of dreams, to the deep silence of rest, and finally to the awakening of a new day. These transitions are not separate from life, they are life. Just as we move between waking and sleeping, we also move between moments of clarity and confusion, effort and surrender, mindfulness and forgetfulness. The way we approach sleep mirrors the way we approach life itself. Sleep is a spiritual practice. Many of us view sleep as merely a pause in our busy lives, a necessity rather than an opportunity. But what if we saw it differently? What if sleep was not just a break from consciousness, but a continuation of it in another form? In Buddhist thought, awareness does not cease when we fall asleep, it simply shifts. This means that our time in sleep is not wasted, it is a time for healing, reflection, and even inner growth. In dreams, we confront hidden emotions and subconscious truths. In deep sleep, we return to a state of profound stillness, akin to the mind's natural luminosity. In waking, we have the opportunity to carry forward the lessons of the night into the light of day. By cultivating mindfulness in both sleep and wakefulness, we build a bridge between these states, integrating all aspects of our experience into a harmonious whole. The Buddha's teachings on wakefulness. The Dhammapada teaches, the awakened are never careless. They are mindful and fully aware. This wisdom extends not only to how we live but to how we sleep. The Buddha reminded us that true wakefulness is not just about being physically awake, but about being mentally and spiritually aware. Just as we practice mindfulness in eating, walking, and breathing, we can bring mindfulness to sleeping, dreaming, and waking, bridging the gap between sleep and wakefulness. Instead of seeing sleep and wakefulness as two separate realms, we can learn to connect them in meaningful ways. Mindful sleep preparation, going to bed with awareness, letting go of worries, and cultivating gratitude. Dream awareness, observing our dreams with curiosity, seeing them as reflections of our inner world. Conscious awakening, beginning each day with intention, instead of rushing into it mindlessly. These small shifts allow us to turn rest into renewal, sleep into insight, and waking into an opportunity for clarity and purpose. A final reflection. Tonight, as you prepare for sleep, pause for a moment. Instead of seeing it as the end of the day, see it as a continuation, a transition into another dimension of awareness. And when you wake up tomorrow, don't just rise mechanically, rise with intention, knowing that this moment, like all moments, is a new beginning. In doing so, we cultivate a deeper understanding of ourselves, realizing that wakefulness is not just about opening our eyes, it is about opening our awareness to both the seen and unseen, the conscious and subconscious, the sleeping and the waking. The journey never stops, whether in sleep or in wakefulness. We are always moving toward deeper presence, deeper understanding, and deeper peace.